Hi there, this is Abhishek, and in this video, I want to talk to you about the cousin of info boxes, that means the value box. So why I'm saying cousin? Because they are pretty much similar in nature, but little bit different in behavior or appearance. So that's why they are part of the same family and gives you little bit good appearance when you are displaying it in your dashboard, and you call it a value box. So let's go in a R studio and see it. And syntax and everything is pretty much the same. It's just that title comes as a second and values which you need to specify comes as the first part. So let's go in the UI.R and see the first first value box. So, all right. So maybe we want to create another fluid row, and within the fluid row, just put a comma so that there are no errors later in the case. And you want to use value box, and within the value box, let's say you want to specify a certain value, maybe 15 into 200. That's the expression suppose you want to give, and then you want to say any meaningful name, maybe something like budget for 15 days, and finally icon. So icon is equals to, let's go to the font library here, font awesome icon, and get it some sort of better icon, maybe if we can find it very quickly. All right, maybe what we can do is, let's take this hourglass 3. All right, so icon, and if I see the name, it's all in small, hourglass -3. I hope it should come, otherwise I will have to import the library. So I'm done pretty much over here. I have just specified the value that it needs to display, the text, and the icon. And let's see, after saving, once we refresh the application, how it comes. So here is my application. If I press F5, and so here is the value box in the second row. So this was, info boxes were part of the first row, and here you have, and as you can see, it is first showing the value pretty much in bold and in a big font, and then a small information about that it is a budget for 15 days, because we just multiplied 15 into 200. So I just thought of giving it budget for 15 days. So that's a small text supporting this information. And then finally the hourglass that we have. So it's showing that, okay, next 15 days, half of the budget is remaining. So half hourglass is giving a little bit of sense to it, but you are free to use whatever you want. All right, so that's one way. Another way is, as I mentioned previously, that you can even use server. So what you can do is put comma value box output, and let's say budget we have already used. Let's say item requested. So item requested for these 15 days, maybe software or hardware or any other office related one. So what we will going to do here is output dollar item requested. I think that is what we used here in the item requested. Yeah, and then the same render function. So render value box, and then you will specify value box, and within value box you can see the value. That means what is the value that is being requested. So maybe that is for 15 days, the value that is being requested is maybe in multiplication of 300. That's a processing, but you are more than free to specify the object which is returning one value based on the processing you want to do, maybe from the file you are importing or the values from the database. If you are connecting your server to a database, you can process it, but just one thing to keep in mind, that whatever expression or function you are writing, it should return one value to show it into the info box. So after this, the title that we need to give, item requested by employees, and then we can give icon is equals to icon. Let's use a different icon this time, and let's go to the font awesome. That's what I usually do. And maybe flash, if that makes, or fire, because that's a firing thing. You are asking more. All right, let's save it and let's try to refresh our application. So once I hit refresh, 4500 item requested by employees, and then the fire icon. So it's on fire because 3000 is the budget, 4500 is what you're requesting. So you get an idea about how you can do that, both in the front end, I mean in the UI.R and in the server.R. Now let's quickly talk about how you can change or make it a little bit different in appearing. So for that, we need to specify their statuses. So let's go to our code, and here let's specify its status. We are in value box, so I think status is not part of it. So there is a parameter which is color. Color is equals to what color you want to give. Maybe here in this case yellow is the one we want to give, and save it. So maybe status was part of the info box, because I remember it that I have used its status and it is showing warning or some other sort of status that you want to give, and accordingly it changes the behavior of the info box. So maybe it's the info box where I've used it. All right, so here we have specified color is equal. Let's go to the here and hit refresh, and here you can see you have the 4500 highlighted in the yellow color. Well, after this you have other options. If you want to specify red, you just go and specify red and change it, and once you change it, it will going to change it in the red. So that's how you can specify, and you are fully eligible to make it dynamic based on the value that is being passed. So you can write a function or anything which is returning this value, and dynamically you can change it by specifying the dynamic output. So that's pretty much all about it, how you can create the value boxes which are either static in nature or as dynamic as mentioned over here within the server, where you can fully use the processing power of server function within the Shiny. So these are the two things I wanted to talk, the value box in this video and in the previous video, info boxes, which covered both the thing, and I'll meet you in the new video with some new topic.